Hey everyone, this is Matt Freedman with the Action Network. It is 6 o'clock Eastern, which means it is time for us to do a breakdown. So sorry, I had to shut down something on my computer here. Okay, so yeah, want to wait just a little bit, a minute or so for some more people to jump into the chat here. But yeah, the purpose of the session, well, one, I should just say my dog might bark. So just, like be aware of that. She's a small beast, but she's ferocious. And it's about the time of day when my wife might come home from work. So if you hear a dog barking in the background, just know one, she's very excited about the Action Network app. But then two, yeah, just oh, and there she is in the background. Just be aware there might be some noise, some chitter chatter at some point. All right, I think that's enough small talk. Let's jump into it. This is a walkthrough for anyone who's a newer user of the Action Network app. My name is Matthew Freedman. I'm the editor in chief of Fantasy Labs, which is part of the Action Network. And I just want to walk through the app and kind of give a demonstration of some of the functionality it has and really to highlight the ways in which I use it. So first, we just have this Today tab, which is, pretty much everything that is happening today in the wide world of sports betting. At the top, you can see my action. These are the two games that I have bet on today. You can scroll down and see that we have content. It just happens that we have a betting guide for one of the games that I've bet, which is Villanova at DePaul. We have a pro system that also identifies Villanova at DePaul as a game you'd maybe want to bet. And then we have content for all of the different games today. So that's that's just the Today tab. I think the most important tab is my action. So if you go to that, you can see we have to the left the My Picks tab, and you can see at the top you can see your plays, right? The plays that you have made for today, and you can see a snapshot of your record, right? So over the last 7 days, I'm 0-1. Over the last 30 days, I'm 28, 27-1. You can see the all-time record. You can see broken down by leagues how you have done. By the way, early on, you can see I'm horrible at WNBA and MLB. I bet on MLB and WNBA early on after I'd gotten the app, realized that I sucked at it and stopped betting it. I think in part that's kind of like the benefit of having the app. You can really track with numbers, actual numbers. You can see your record broken down by sports to see where you are strong and where you could improve. And by the way, I think it's a good practice if you are just getting into sports betting, even if you're not making bets or making large bets, to enter your picks in the app so you can get a sense of how you actually are as a sports bettor without having to, maybe to lose some money to figure out that it's something that you should maybe do more for fun as opposed to something that you could, like do for a career or something like that. So there's definitely functionality to tracking your picks in the app. This next tab here, My Books, I think it's one of the most important features in the app. We can pull in lines from a lot of sports books. So a best practice is that you should have accounts at multiple sports books. I think the more the better, because that allows you to find and bet the best line possible. So once you open an account at a sports book, you can go to this My Books tab and you can add the book to the list of sports books that you want to monitor. And then when you're looking at an individual game, so we can go within the sports page here. We could click on Nova and DePaul. That's a game that I've bet. When you look at an individual game, the lines that you will see right here will be the best lines possible from your combination of books. So I can scroll through here and I can see, okay, I have an account at DraftKings. These are all the lines available at DraftKings, the ones available at FanDuel, and so on. But right here, you can see the best collection of odds, the best collection of lines from your combination of sports books. So this automatically streamlines for you your line shopping process, and it enables you very easily to bet the best line instead of being on your desktop and having 5 to 10 tabs open and looking at the line for each game in each sports book. Boom, you enter the books that you use, you look at the game page in the app, and you automatically see the best lines for you to bet. This is a massive time saver. If this were the only thing that the app did, it would still make the app incredibly valuable and worthwhile. Just something for you to keep in mind. Using my books within your my action profile, incredibly valuable. You can look at summary to see how you have done historically. You can look at analysis, and this is incredibly valuable too. It allows you to look at your action in more detail, league by league. You can really customize screeners in a variety of ways. And so, for instance, I've created 3 screeners here to track my 2019-2020 NFL record. So this enables you to identify strengths and weaknesses so you can maximize your bankroll. You can focus on what you do well. You can isolate the areas you want to improve. As you see, I'm about a 500 better on NFL sides and totals. I got into sports betting more through the fantasy side of things. So I tend to focus more on players, and I just know I'm not as sharp at betting sides and totals. This year, really, I was just about 500, so I was a little bit down. Some seasons I'm a little bit up, but I know because I can track it in the app and analyze it in this way, I know that over the long term, historically, I've been about break even on NFL sides and totals. Those are just really tough markets to beat. And I can see that's an area where I want to get better. But I can also see, man, I had a great 2019 season with props. I was up 67.1 units for the year. It was great. And also, not quite as good as I wanted it to be honest, but still really good. So with this page, I can analyze my performance in more detail so I can know, hey, I should either pull back a little bit on sides and totals, or I should increase my efforts to get better at betting in those markets. Whatever your approach is, with the analysis tab, you can get precise data to inform your decisions. And then next, there's the bet tools tab. Very functional, allows you to see how much EV there is in a particular bet. Definitely be sure to check that out. All right, we have the sports pages. So right now, NBA is on All-Star break, so not going to look at the NBA page, but you can sort through a number of different sports here, right? NBA, you could look at college basketball. So I have 2 bets tonight, right? One on DePaul, one for hockey for the Boston Bruins. So let's look at the game page for the game I have bet Nova at DePaul. So if you click on that, you can see that there's a preview tab at the top. You can see the content that we have for the game. You can click into it and read the articles that we have, right? So there's a sharp action and there's a pro system for that game. You can click over here and see that there's an odds boost at DraftKings for some of these college basketball games, right? So you have content. You can see the lines. Again, these are the best lines with your sports book. So that's incredibly valuable. You can see here the game day edge, and you can see the experts. You can click on that to see which experts are betting on the games that you are betting on. You can see the projected line. You can see the sharp money, right? And so you can see 19% of the bets for the spread are on DePaul, but 28% of the money is on DePaul, which indicates that the bigger money, the sharper money right now is on DePaul. You can track line movements, and then you can compare odds, right? In a very clean snapshot, you can see right here that these are the books that I have entered under my books. and I can see where the best lines are. I can automatically see, because it's green here, hey, William Hill, if I want to bet on DePaul to win the game, plus 175, that's the place where I should do it. So very quick snapshot of everything that is useful that you could find in the app for this game. You can, again, here see the picks. You can see the experts and which way they bet on this. You can see the stats, very functional page there. You can see the trends, right? So if you had a question like DePaul, right? DePaul is a home dog. You could see here how DePaul has done recently against the spread, or how they've done straight up. You can see how DePaul has done recently, at home as a dog, etc. So that's pretty useful to give you a quick snapshot there. Here's another page through which you can see the odds. You can see line movement in here. Again, at the very bottom, odds by book. You can see the books that you use, and you can very cleanly see all of the odds there that you could bet. And then alerts. Now this is, I think, maybe the second most important page after my books. You can set an alert for, well, you can set alert for a lot of things, right? For when the game starts, when the game ends, when the second half opens, in case you want to do a second half bet, maybe to hedge, or you think you have an extra edge on the game because you're watching it live, and you think something's going to happen in the second half, right? You can set alerts for a number of things here. I think the most important thing is that you can set an alert for line movement. And you can do it with a particular threshold in mind. So let's say that you are a value investor, right? Like you always want to get something at a discount. You've already identified the book where you can get the best line, but you want a better line. Let's say that you like DePaul, but you'd rather have them at 5.5 instead of 4.5. So you can set the alert on your phone, right? DePaul, 5.5, add. Okay, well, this is funny anyway. Okay, so I've actually deactivated the settings on my phone so that I don't get a whole bunch of alerts while I'm doing this. But that's the process that you would go through to set the alert for your phone, so that at this point, if the line moves to DePaul 5.5, within seconds you would get an alert. And then you can check quickly to see why the line has moved. Was it just normal market movement? Is a player out? And then if you're satisfied with what you find, you can bet DePaul at the line you set, the line that you determined in advance as the one you wanted to bet. So instead of sitting in front of a computer screen for hours, monitoring your different books, you just set your alert, you streamline your process, and you go about your day. So I think very valuable right there. So that's the sports pages there. We have the pro tab, which the one on the left here, you can see the sharp report. So you can see here our line move predictor, and you can use this to help you anticipate the moves that you could see in the market, right? So you can set your alerts with this information in mind, and you can see bets on the sharp report page. You can see the bets that have high differentials. So you could see in this TCU Texas game that TCU is getting 22% of the bets, but 49% of the money on the spread, which would indicate that the sharper money, the bigger money, is leaning towards TCU. That's not to say that you should blindly bet it, but it's nice information to have. So that's the sharp report. And you can look at systems here. These are pro systems from Bet Labs. You can look at lots of trends that have historically been predictive and profitable, and that can help you streamline your research. And so, for instance, you can scroll through here and you can see, okay, well, I'm interested in maybe betting on a hockey game, or I want to learn more about hockey. What are some of the historically profitable trends for that sport? And you can see we have a trend identifying a game, and it is Boston at Edmonton, well-rested visiting favorites. You can see historically these teams have gone 520 to 298 for a win percentage of 64 and a return on investment of 11%, which is pretty good. So that is a game that that I actually have already bet, in part because of this pro system, and in part because of other trends that I noticed in Bet Labs. But with this here, you can leverage some of the pro systems that we have. And then finally, there's the follow tab where you can see the experts that you followed, any of the, the big name experts. You can follow the big names right here, or any friends, anyone that you're just following in the app. You can see all of their bets for today in this thread right here. And so I don't always tell what other experts do, but I like to be able to see what they're betting, especially in the sports where I'm not as strong. And again, you can follow your friends, you can follow other people in the app. So this right here is, I think, a very clean way to get a sense of the sports bettors that you respect, where they are investing in a particular night. So I think that is also incredibly valuable. So the big advantage of using the app, you can track your picks, right? That allows you to evaluate yourself and to see your performance. You can manage your sports books. That allows you to shop for lines in a really easy way so that you can bet the best line possible. And you can set alerts for line movement. And that allows you to set the line where you would like to bet a game, and you can get notified if the line hits your threshold. So it enables you to get the best line at theoretically even a better line. And then on top of that, there's the content, there's the data, the experts whose picks you can track. So I think that is the big benefit of using the app. And honestly, so that's the way I use it. But I know there are a lot of sharp experts out there who use the app in ways that differ from the way in which I use it. I think the important thing is kind of experiment a little bit with it, see how it fits in with your betting process and how it can help streamline what it is that you already do. I think that's probably the best way to approach the app. All right, so I think that is it. I'm going to see if we have any questions in here. Okay, so we have Poker Income asking, how do you see the Sharp report or public betting stats with money percentage on the app like you can on the computer? Yeah, so I think you can, sorry for the cough there. I think you can do it a couple of ways. One, you can go into the Pro tab and you can look at the Sharp report right here. And you can scroll down to see some of these highest differential games in terms of bet percentage versus money percentage. And you can click the See More tab and you can see a lot of them. That's a kind of high overview way of doing it. You can also click on the individual sports pages. We'll go back into Nova and DePaul. Click on that, and you can either go to, you can scroll down here. So again, you can see experts, you can see projected line, you can see the sharp money, and you can particularly see the breakdown right here. And so you could click on see full breakdown, and that would take you here. You could see what people are doing for the spread. You can see what's happening for the total, right? You could see where the public money's going. You can see where the sharp money's going. You can look at the money line as well, right? So you can do it two ways, really. You can look within the Pro tab, or you can look within the individual game page itself as a way to see where the different money percentages are going. But really, even if you just look at the sports page itself, you can pretty quickly right here see the difference. You can see, okay, if we're looking at the over and the under, you can see in the Nova DePaul game, 61% of the money, but 90% of the bets are on the under, right? Even here, you can get a very quick snapshot of where all the money is flowing for the different bets. So obviously you can do it on laptop too, but you can do it on your phone in a number of different ways. All right, I think that is going to do it. I hope that this was helpful. If you have questions, you can obviously hit me up on Twitter at Matt F the Oracle, and you can follow me in the Action Network app at Matt F the Oracle. I tend to be more of a football better and a props better, so I'm going to start getting back into NBA props. I did that well last year. Going to get into NBA props now that we're past the All-Star break and we are out of football season, XFL aside. So yeah, you can follow me in the app. And if you have any questions, reach out to me or really anyone else who is with Action Network. And we can, try to help you out and, get you fully acclimated to the app. All right. Have a great day, everybody.